So chances are, if you are running cold emails and you're not using Spintax, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Reason why is that email service providers like Microsoft and Google, if they see the same email being sent out hundreds or thousands of times, they're going to be putting those emails in the promotions or the spam folder. So how to get ahead of that is to use something called Spintax. And today, that's exactly what we're going to go cover. I took the liberty to go through the majority of Instantly's Help Center docs, and I created a short, concise document or guide that you could follow to help you get more replies and ultimately help you book more meetings so that you could make more money. So let's jump in. There are 4 steps that we're going to be covering today. The first one is covering what Spintax is and how you could use it inside of an email. Next, we're going to go cover what fallback variables are. After that, we'll see what liquid syntax is and how you could leverage it to help you make dynamic emails based on the time of the day that you're sending the email on. Lastly, we'll also cover the sneaky variables that Instantly doesn't, for some reason, offer to all of its users easily. Jumping into the first step, what is Spintax and how can you use it? For starters, Spintax is the ability to help you randomize the words and emails that you send out to your prospects. Now, I have a function on my screen here that's highlighted, and you can see that it starts with random in all caps within curly brackets. Now, I have a vertical line that separates all of the different options that this function could select from. So the first options that I have here are called example 1, example 2, and example 3. And to see what this looks like or to preview it, if I click it the first time, it will return example 1. So this function returned the first option. If I press it again, you can see that it returned the third option. Now, the takeaway from this is that if you have 3 options, it will return each one a third of the time. Now, you're not capped by the amount of different options you could have within this function. You could have 2, you could have 3, you could have 10. If you do have 10, it will return an option a 10th of the time. How I use Spintax is that sometimes I'll randomize individual words within a sentence, then other times I will then Spintax complete sentences as a whole. To walk you through what this looks like in a real cold email, I like to separate my initial cold emails into 5 distinct sections. First one being is the intro. Second one being is the relevance piece. The third one is the credibility or no-brainer offer. And then the last 2 are the call to action and then the signature. So let's see what this looks like. For the intro, I keep it fairly stock. So using the Spintax function, it will then return a word that's either hello, hi, or hey, and then I use Instantly's first name variable. So I use this pretty much all the time. I don't really change it. Call me basic. But after this, I'll have a relevance sentence that's then randomizer, that's Spintaxed. And the way that I'm able to get this without spending 10 minutes, 50 minutes per sentence is I'll copy this sentence here. I'll go to the guide that I created, and then I'll copy this prompt. Inside of ChatGPT, there's a GPT that's called ListKit Spintax GPT, and I find it's pretty good. You could simply copy or paste the prompt, go back to Instantly, get your sentence that you want. So I'm just pressing Command C or copy. And then I'll replace this insert your sentence section with the sentence that I want to be Spintaxed. I'll then upload it into the chat, and if ChatGPT likes me today, it will then load. And I don't know if ChatGPT is liking me today. Okay, cool. So all I had to do is refresh it. Now, I'll copy this, and then I'll paste it back into the sequencer or Instantly. I could do this again with the credibility or no-brainer offer section of the cold email. And then when it comes to the call to action, typically the last sentence of your email, I will then Spintax entire sentences at a time. So inside the function, you'll see that instead of Spintaxing different words, I am then choosing one of 3 sentences. So for example, if I wanted to share a newsletter with someone, I could say, would you be open to checking it out? Would you be open to taking a look at our newsletter? Or mind if I share one of our exclusive newsletters with you? Lastly, when it comes to the signature, I keep it fairly stock. I like to say or sign off with best regards or cheers. I'll then use this sneaky variable that I found inside of the Instantly Help Center. I'll then also include the link to my company without the actual link. So the way I get around this is I'll typically replace the dot with a parenthesis dot like this, or I'll simply replace the dot with an empty space. That way, I'm not sending an entire link. Now, when it comes to fallback variables, in short, what this does is if for any reason you want to reference a variable where you don't have a value for it, let's just say that I want to reference first name, but I don't have the person's first name, it will then return there. For example, if I wanted to reference last name and I don't have that value, it will then return last name. To walk you through what this looks like, I have one lead here. Let's just call him John, and I don't have his last name. So in the sequencer, if I press preview, you'll see that it will reference the first name, but because I don't have a value for the last name, it will then reference last name. And you could change this however you want. For the third step of today's video, we're gonna go cover what liquid syntax is. Simply put, this is the ability to send different kinds of messages depending on the day of the week. So let's just say that it's between Monday and Wednesday. I could have a specific message be sent during that time period. And if it's between Thursday and Sunday, I could have another. Also, a different way you could use Spintax is to have different kinds of messages being sent based on the day of the week. So I'll walk you through what this looks like. Today's date or today's day of the week is Monday. So because it's in that first part of the week, so between Monday and Wednesday, I could then ask a prospect if they want to meet any time this week. However, if it was a Friday, for example, it would then dynamically change to, are you available anytime next week to meet? And then this is how it will show up. Now, because it's a Monday today, I could simply change what message is being sent to a prospect. So if I wanted to say, hope you have a great start to the week, it will then return, hope you have a great start to the week. And then these messages will change based on the day of the week that you're sending the message on. For the last part of the video today, we're going to go cover what sneaky variables are. These are pretty straightforward. We'll simply return the account name, so first name, last name of the email account. Then you could also have the option to sign off with the first name only. So for example, if I wanted to reference the first name, last name, or either the first name, I have that ability now to do that. This is pretty useful if you have multiple different kinds of names that you're sending emails from. So it just streamlines the entire sending process. I'll go ahead and attach this guide to the video, and it provides just a high-level overview, and you can just simply copy and paste different sections into your campaigns just to speed up that process for you. So that's today's video. To recap, we covered how you could leverage Spintax, how you could leverage fallback variables, and also liquid syntax and sneaky variables. If you have any questions about the content that we covered today, feel free to comment or reach out to me. I'll go ahead and attach this guide here just to help you save time whenever you're creating your next cold email campaign. And as always, if you like the content, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Cheers.